To all my officer viewers, remember, never let your guard down for even a second. Hi everybody, welcome to today's bonus badge cam lesson here at Active Self-Protection. Back with me, my favorite sidekick, Mike.
Today's video comes to us from Baltimore, Maryland.
Newbold Targets is now Throom. I use Throom targets on the range for all the benefits of steel with none of the drawbacks. They're made in the USA too. Pick up a set to make your shooting more fun and effective. Police here in Baltimore County have been called to an active armed robber situation. They got the silent alarm and are en route for an active robbery. Let's listen in to the badge cam audio.
Put your hands up! Put your hands up! Put your hands up! Put your hands up! Right now! I got one at the counter. 1018, everybody! Get on the ground! Get on the damn ground! Put your hands up!
Hands up! Don't you move! Do you understand?
Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
I got it.
Get your ass on the ground!
Don't you move! Head behind your back! We got one more out the window.
28 pharmacists advised 2 went out the window.
Out back! Out back! Out back!
Out the window!
Subject going out the window. 2 people went out back. There were 2 units coming in, and around back. 2 subjects went out around back there.
Anybody else in here? Come on. Come up here by the door. Come on up. What's the description?
Black with masks and hoodies, and you can't tell nothing from them.
28.
He can pull the video and show you.
28.
Pull the video and show you.
Black man.
Yeah, all that. One way.
It's okay.
One way, yeah, one way.
Come over here.
Subjects at 20.
Are you hurt?
Where's your gun?
Black field.
Are you hurt?
All is gone. Right hand.
Are you hurt?
Where's your gun? Get gloves on, get gloves on.
All is gone. All of them are gone.
I'm gonna roll, ready?
It's right here.
Yeah, you go over here. Immigration counsel, help us out.
Okay, you're good.
929, you hit on that whole marker. I'm in there now.
Officers took this guy into custody. Turns out there were 2 other perps who jumped out the pharmacy window with cash and prescription pills. Officers caught them several days later. All 3 of them are facing multiple counts of armed robbery, assault, felon in possession, and all kinds of stuff like that. Thankfully, no good people hurt. Man, thank God that officer didn't look away for any longer. That's a good thing though, Mike. Now our podcast is live.
It's up on everything. It's on Apple, it's on Overcast, Google Podcast, you name it, all the services.
Spotify, all those things. We've got several episodes live, incredible stories of real life self-defenders who describe their defensive encounter for lessons learned. It's incredible stuff. Go check it out. First piece of advice here, when you are en route, you know you are going to have a high level of arousal. You're going to get amped up. So you've got to work to manage your arousal level so you can make good decisions when you show up on scene.
As you see him walk in the door, you can see he spots this guy right away. It takes him half a beat to realize, okay, that's my bad guy, and there's other people behind the counter. And we were talking off camera, there's a time to slow things down, there's a time to punch the gas, and that's what he did.
And this is the time to punch the gas. There are people's lives at stake here. You can't slow your roll here, you gotta go in. So in that pre-op, when you're driving up is the time to really chill, manage your heart rate, those kinds of things so that you're ready to make good decisions, which I think he did a very good decision here. Now, he's been giving commands to this perp, who we know because we've already watched it, has a gun on him, and telling him to put his hands up. Now let's pay attention to what we see here. So the guy has his hands up, but he's not really listening to instructions. He's really non-compliant at this point.
We talk about passive non-compliance. We talk about conspicuous ignoring. This guy knows, he can hear this officer very clearly, knows what he wants him to do, and he's weighing his options. And I've been in this situation, and it sucks. The officer knows this guy is thinking, can I get out of this? Can I draw a gun and shoot this cop before he gets me into custody? Can I grab one of these people and take him hostage? There's a million things going through his mind. The average person watching this video might think he's all hyped up and amped up. He's not. He's really controlling his emotions really well at this point.
And so this is what we call that low emotion non-compliance, which a person who's thinking clearly with low emotion and non-compliance, probably the most dangerous thing that there is, which is why this cop is kind of like a cat on a hot tin roof. Now you can see him here. He's looking over as well to the right, just what we see here, because we know that there are multiple perps here. It's been called in as a multiple perp armed robbery.
Yeah, he's checking over his shoulder for other people. It's tough to say where his partner is at this point. If his partner was behind him, covering down in the rear, you got to trust your partner. As we said earlier, you got to trust your partner and just get in on that bad guy. If we look at the bad guy's posture, it's extremely casual. He doesn't have his hands up. He's shrugging like he's answering a question. I don't know.
Right.
It's scary stuff.
Now, the big thing here is that we see this on the main channel all the time, that when bad guys look away, it gives an opportunity for the good people to counter ambush. The same holds true in the other direction. So if you got to go check your six, you got to go check what else is going on. Recognize that gives him an opportunity. So don't look away for long when you have a known armed robber in front of you. You've got to watch. And yes, you might have to check some way else, but do so in a way, if possible, to minimize your risk of him drawing the gun that we know he has on him.
Yeah, he did a pretty good job here. It was the quickest of quick peeks. I'm not sure how much information he could even have gotten from that quick of a peek, but he didn't stay off there long, but you'll see right here.
Yeah, this is our big problem. As you notice, when he does, our perp is, I can't tell. Either he is patting the gun to try to keep it into a spot where it's more concealed, or he's thinking about trying to draw that gun and burn this cop down. And so this is why we want to be very cautious here.
And I'm not taking any chances on his intentions. I would assume his intention is to kill me. And get out of there.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
So again, this is why, and I think he's got a second here, but this is why when you've got a known threat in front of you, don't let go or lose, your focus on a given threat, knowing that you've got a partner who could be dealing with the other threat. If you're by yourself, you might have to, but with a partner, less so.
I just want to point out here, it's different from our perspective. He is keeping the gun at something like a modified low ready. He's not covering this guy up with his gun in hands, therefore he can see what he's doing. Yeah. And you saw he saw that hand going down too. He knew exactly what was going on.
Exactly. Now, of course, from our perspective, it looks like not so much, but that's because it's again just below eye level, so he can see his hands. That's when he gets that, hey man, put your hands up, and the guy does that. That was a good decision. I think the next really good thing that this officer does is his partner's going to get in here to get this guy into custody. Now, I don't know about leaving your partner out like that, but he starts looking after the victims, making sure, okay, the immediate threat is over. Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? So that shows, again, is everybody all right in this instance? Good concern for the community.
Yeah, agreed. Like you said, I would have preferred he stayed in a ready position, gun out behind the counter, where you can have one eye on his partner, one eye on the rest of the store. That's a nitpick at this point. He did a great job of checking on these folks, making sure they're okay. And that's also, by the way, that's also calming him down a little bit by checking on these folks and making sure nobody's hurt.
Yeah, it kind of breaks that tunnel vision, right? Making sure that everybody's okay. Now, he gloves up. Why? Because we're about to get some evidence, and the officer who is taking this guy to custody got him in cuffs and recognizes, hey, there's a gun here, but I need somebody because I don't want to, mess with a crime scene or whatever. We want to tie this to him particularly. But what I want to stop here and pay attention to is the fact that this guy does not have, he's got tight jeans on. He's rocking the skinny jeans Justin Bieber look here, but he also has a full-size gun there.
Yeah, and there he's I don't know why bad guys have to put everything in their drawers all the time. Like nothing worse than having to reach down to get dope or a gun or whatever. Yeah, that's a full-size firearm, and if he hadn't have patted him down, he wouldn't know it was there.
And good reason to have the gloves on, by the way, because what else is that dude putting down his drawers? And you don't want to have your hands up in there because it'll give you something you never had before, hepatitis.
Hard pass.
Hard pass on that. So I do think these officers did a fantastic job. Very rare that we get to see them actually end an armed robbery like this. I think we really want to think about managing our state of arousal, pushing when it's time to push, slowing down when it's time to slow down, making sure that everybody else is safe. This officer covered his ass.